really thrilled to have my friend and also my English coach, Dolly Lee, to join us today.
Hello, Bingru. It's
Hi.
great to be with you today.
We are very happy to have you today.
Thank you.
Dolly has been widely recognized for her professional accomplishment. She has been awarded as a top 100 woman in Maryland and the best cross-cultural communicator of the year. Dolly worked for the White House in the Clinton administration. Dolly is also a certified English accent reduction coach. So in today's program, we will have Dolly to help us to improve our English pronunciation. A few weeks ago, I asked you guys to share with me your English recordings. So today, you are all in for a treat. We will have Dolly to pick a few of your recordings and for her to go through.
Yeah, let's get started. Let's listen to paragraph number 1, which is Linda and Nancy.
Sure.
Okay, let's take a listen.
Linda and Nancy negotiated a number line ocean liner for their next linguistic link.
At the beginning, He Xiansheng has a few issues and challenges. For example, Linda and Nancy, those two names are supposed to be treated as one entity. He had a pause between and he said, Linda and Nancy. So we do not explode that D at the end of AND, which is and. Chinese people have a tendency of exploding the and D. So now he sounded like Linda and Nancy. That's no good. It's Linda and Nancy. So the D is not supposed to be exploded. And then he said negotiated. Well, that word is just one word, but the way he said it, he sounded as if it is two words. It's negotiated, not negotiated.
These ladies landed in London, Luxembourg, Nuremberg, Nebraska, and Los Angeles. They learned to like local radio.
He Xiansheng, it is Los Angeles, not Los Angeles. Nebraska, it's a state here in the United States. I guess he's not familiar with that, so he mispronounced the state.
And saw a little slow snail in the woods.
The last word she said is woods. Now, that's very typical Chinese characteristic. It's not woods, it's woods. Like
Short.
it's the sound that's in the book, the word book. It's book, it's wood, as Americans like to say, knock on wood. And so it's the same thing, it's woods, not woods. Okay? Just like you don't say book, it's book, right?
They learn to like local lager.
Now, the emphasis here is off just a little bit. We've talked about the rule, which is to emphasize the first word in 99% of the cases. For example, they learn to like local lager. And she said they learn to like local lager. So she's reversing the emphasis.
A little slow snail in the woods. Nancy sneaked into a laundry facility and lingered for a long time.
Here's the same thing. Her pronunciations are correct, but she said a little snow snail. But it's supposed to be a little slow snail. Slow snail, not slow snail. For a long time, not long time. See, we have how many examples so far already?
Yes.
Even though she sounded so much better, but her intonation is off, which makes it harder for audience to pick up the pattern of her speech.
So far, I'm quite impressed. Now let's listen to a native English speaker, John, to read this paragraph.
Linda and Nancy negotiated a number line ocean liner for their next linguistic link. These ladies landed in London, Luxembourg, Nuremberg, Nebraska, and Los Angeles. They learned to like local lager. Linda saw a little slow snail in the woods. Nancy sneaked into a laundry facility and lingered for a long time.
Vincent went to West Virginia last Wednesday. It was a well-spent and worthwhile week.
Also, Vincent went to West Virginia. Should not be Vincent, that T should not be exploded.
When he got there, the weather was very warm.
Worm is W-O-R-M, which is 虫. So it's warm, W-A-R-M. The weather was very warm not very warm.
Stayed at Best Western and then a wolf lodge. He had delicious vegetables. He visited some interesting women in a village and invited them to receive an award in the winter.
He had delicious vegetables. She said he had delicious vegetables. She added a little R at the end, which is very typical. A lot of Chinese speakers tend to add a little R there, as in delicious, no, delicious. And what's the other one? Conscious. They like to say conscious. The other story I think I told you is panda. Right. And China, for that matter. A lot of people say China and panda.
Now we are going to play one of Dolly's most famous students.
Vincent went to West Virginia last Wednesday. It was a well-spent and worthwhile week. When he got there, the weather was very warm. He stayed at the Best Western and then a wolf lodge. He had delicious vegetables. He visited some interesting women in a village and invited them to receive an award in the winter.
Perfect,
Yes.
right? He put the emphasis on the first word.
Yeah.
And he also did not explode any of the T's. He didn't say Vincent. He didn't say last Wednesday, right?
And he said
Stayed at the Best
warm.
Western.
He said
had the
warm.
warm
He didn't
and,
say,
yeah.
he did not say worm.
Yeah.
I taught him well.
Definitely.
Hey, Wang Guan, if you're watching, just trying to send you some compliments. Okay, that's and a little American brand of
job.
humor.
Sailing ships and baby sheep need to be identified. Ted went to the fence to get the tent. Huck was satisfied that he participated in feeding 100 hungry friends for lunch in Hungary.
Sailing ships and baby sheep. So this is designed for people to differentiate the long E, which is the sheep, versus the short E, which is ships.
Ships.
The sailing ships and baby sheep need to be identified. 张同学 the situation is his intonation is way too flat, very flat.
Yeah.
Ted went to the fence to get the tent. And so make sure that the verbs are the most important words in a sentence. So you need to reflect, to put the emphasis on the verbs instead of the nouns.
Sarah gave Pam a gift card for high school. Her favorite topics are lavender photography and luncheon days with...
Gave Pam a gift card. Now the D is there. Don't chop it off. The ending has a D, but you don't explode it. Gift card for high school. High school, the ending is L. And Qiu Qian 同学 skipped the L, so it sounded like high school. High school is not good enough. It's a high school. Lavender again, right? Every single time. It's lavender. The emphasis is placed on a different syllable. It's lavender, not lavender.
Let's listen to Michael Toscano, award-winning broadcaster.
Sailing ships and baby sheep need to be identified. Ted went to the fence to get the tent. Huck was satisfied that he participated in feeding 100 hungry friends for lunch in Hungary. Sarah gave Pam a gift card for high school. Her favorite topics are lavender, photography, and national holidays with regional flavor.
This is textbook standard. 所以最后我们请导体来给我们总结一下中国人发英文常见的10大错误。
好的，第一条就是重音两个字在一起的时候是99%的情况下是把重音放在第一个字，比方说 gift card， 有好多同学说成 gift card， 还有说的 high school， 有的同学说成 high school， 把重音放在后面的第二个字应该是把它全部放在前面。第二点要记住，很多的中国同学们喜欢把这个 的音变成的音。我举个例子。今天的句子里面有一个 Vincent went to West Virginia on Wednesday， 他们会变成 Vincent went to， 不是 went to， 是 went to，and Wednesday 还有人会念成 Wednesday。第三点，it's very common among Northern Chinese， 北方人啊，东北人，但是还有一些是广东人，这个两个音是分不清的。哪两个音呢？是这个 v and w，like Vincent and West Virginia and Wednesday， 它会变成 Vincent， 它会变成 Wednesday， 它会变成 West Virginia， 就是这个 v and w 全部反掉。这个第4点是我们全国人民都知道的事情，是什么呢？是了呢不分。哇，四川人、安徽人也是这个问题。For example, we talked a little bit about that earlier. Slow versus snow. Linda and Nancy 不能变成 Linda and Nancy。Nancy 肯定不高兴，你把它喊成 Nancy。那同样的 ，Nancy 也绝对不会高兴，你把它喊成 Nancy。
牛奶和
牛奶，牛奶，把牛奶给我拿过来。第5条规律啊，就是中国人说英文中间的第5个最严重的问题，就是把这个发音的重点搞错了，也就是 intonation or emphasis within a word. For example, in today's paragraph, one of the paragraphs we had satisfied. 很多同学会念成 satisfied， 把重音给调到另外的一个不对的音节上，还会说 participated。Right， 这是不是中国人的特征？不是 participated， 是 participated， 重音搞。第6节，中国人说英文的一个最大的问题之一，就是把这2个音混淆掉。一个叫做 schwa， 就是轻声把它混淆成啊。For example， 很多同学会把 Sarah 这个人女生的名字，在我们今天念的这个句子里面有这个名字叫 Sarah。会把它喊成 Sarah 好不好听哦？Her name is Sarah, not Sarah。有些同学也会念成把它 Linda， 不是 Linda， 是 Linda， 的是的schwa。第7点呢，就是有2个音分不了，一个是一个是 One is one is as in hungry， 千万不要说成 hungry。100 100。不能说成 100 right？ 第8条就是这个 A 的音，就是字母第一个字母 ABC 的 A 第一个字母，这个音呢，在很多的词的中间的时候，大家就说不准。For example, like flavor， 刚才有个同学说什么 flavor， flavor 肯定不行，千万不能说 flavor。还有一个同学说 sailing ships， no。It's a sailing ships, not sailing ships. 哇，第9个
是一个非常 popular 的问题。
对，是非常 popular 的问题，因为我们在国内学的很多，当时我们学的都是英国英语，英国英语。Now, British English is different than American English. The ending T of a word, for example, in today's paragraph, last Wednesday. Notice a lot of friends say last Wednesday.That ending T should not be exploded. Why? Because that T and the W do not go together. Last one. 第10条是什么？
短义和长义。
对，跟各位同学、各位朋友说一下，这个长义呢就是 E， 那我把它说成长义，让大家能够理解，因为我要把这个音发的长一点。E as in sheep， 可是很多同学会把它说成 ship。So sailing ships and baby sheep， 长义和短义很多人是分不清的。
让我想起了 B
对呀，那就糟了。
如果大家还有问题的话，欢迎自行请教Dolly老师，我会把他的微信号留在我们的屏幕下方。谢谢大家本期的收看 ，Thank you for watching。
谢谢冰如，谢谢大家，
拜，
再见，拜拜。